'cause I'm a weatherman. Oh, my thunderstrike, ride out the storm, I'm a weatherman. Oh, my bragging light, shake up the world, I'm a weatherman.
Incoming priority transmission.
Good evening, citizens. It's your Fastforecast, and coming to you from the IMS Weatherman. It's been 5 days since our last broadcast, but we have more news. We're in a decaying orbit above Oya 2 currently, and it seems we got a light bump from something in the middle of the night while we were napping a few days ago. We can't say what exactly bumped us, as well, we were asleep, but as we're still here, it could have been too hard or too big. So that's a plus. Status update. We've been hard at work since we last checked in with you. After running out of consumables in the cockpit and watching that crack in the glass getting larger, we got rather bored with that and decided chance opening the bulkhead to the escape pods. You know, the thing that we said was the last resort. What we expected was to be immediately sucked into the void and report to you from the other side. This is not that report. What happened is considerably less dramatic and exciting. With the gravity down, we were pulled into the compartment storing the escape pods. While dark, the emergency lighting was down, but each pod was still lit up with its own internal battery showing that they were operational. We will admit that they're hardy little things, and thanks to our XO's predilection to stems, we found about a 2-month supply of military-grade stems and coffee. Yeah. Why the XO would store such stuff in our ship, we don't know, but we immediately jettisoned that crud and are running on the stems. Citizens don't drink coffee. Not even once. Not even in a emergency situation such as we find ourselves. Coffee. Not even once. Stay away from the bean. But, great thing, stems. We may try mixing it with the stem calf when we get that back online. Where were we? Oh, yes, escape pods, right. So, now, loaded with stems and batteries from the pods, we refilled our suit with O2 and electric power and cut through the door to the scanner room, where we found a large gash across the ceiling that indicated a vent into space. Right, first issue found. We spent the next 3 hours welding up the breach with floor plating that we pulled up and sealed with emergency sealant found on every Origin Jumpworks ship. Moving back into the armory and down to the bar. Well, the bar. We really like our bar. The 600 has a beautiful bar. However, ours is currently a write-off. The ceiling and the skylight is just gone. Beautiful view of the stars, though, especially because there's no skylight. The entire bar area is carbonized, and it's a blackened hole all the way down to the crew bedroom. We can see the crew beds from here. Shouldn't be able to. Right. Kind of looks like a drink. It's just a big black carbonized hole. Really like our bar. Anyway, it took the better part of an hour to climb down to the crew area due to the damage. The crew escape pods are gone, which is surprising because, again, we don't have crew. Looks like they were ruptured and their individual jets fired, igniting the area inside as well. They detonated in place, causing structural damage. Our personal scanners are showing that there are several fuel lines and electrical junctions that run through this area, and it makes sense that they would be severed by such an explosion. It was almost a day of cutting through bulkheads with our cutting torch and welding to ensure that the fuel to the 2 main engines are offline, but we're pretty sure that it's off. Next up was moving to central engineering, and boy was that a pain. Have you ever looked at a hollow matrix while on Widow and thought, yeah, I can rewrite this code backwards in Banu while flying through a wormhole? No? Us either. However, that's essentially what wound up happening. Things get wonky when you're on stems too long. Still on stems too long. Pretty sure we wired the shower to the lift cargo. Cargo lift. Some combination of those words. But we're relatively sure we're not still on fire. Very sure we have no fuel left on board, however. But we're 100% on battery backup. What the good news is we found the captain's quarters has its own power system, as does the secondary engineering system. What this means is that we have quite a bit of power. What we mean by quite a bit is relative. Not enough to turn on the shields or do anything massively crazy like that. But we can keep from freezing, which is good because the Fastforecast popsicle is not due out yet. We can turn on lights if, they hadn't blown out from the power surges. We could kick on the thrusters if we had previously mentioned fuel. Our listeners are very attentive. And we know that many of you have noticed a lot of if statements. We have too. That's because there is a lot of if statements in that. We have power, but not a lot of things to use it on. The things that require power requires a lot more than we have. We could use thrusters, but we don't have fuel. And we don't have a stem calf machine anymore because it blew up when the bar blew up. And yet we go on. However, we have started to manually clean the environmental scrubbers so we can start recycling the atmospherics, which are polluted from the burning synthetics. So hopefully we'll have atmospherics in the next day or so. So that leaves an issue with water and food. Tomorrow we're going through the recycling system, looking for every ounce of water to force through the recyclers to stretch things, but that still leaves food. We're on day 5 on this amazing new diet, but stems are keeping that from being an issue for now. By the way, Doctor, we need to talk about the level of stems you keep on board. Who needs this many military-grade stems? Has anyone else ever had their teeth itch? No? Just us. Okay, anyway. Food, yes. So, need food. Also, according to a ping, we're in a degrading orbit, but don't want to keep pinging because we don't want to deplete the batteries faster than we already are just by pinging. And finding out that we're falling faster really doesn't give us any more information that would be helpful. But the good news is we'll be able to sleep in our own bed. That's right, citizens. When we can sleep, we'll be sleeping in Origin's Eternity Black sleep system. When you absolutely need to get the best sleep, sink into Origin's Eternity Black sleep system. Guaranteed to get you the best sleep in the universe. Other good news is we found a bottle of stem calf under the bed where it must have rolled when we were hit. Stem calf, be awake and alert next week. We plan on popping it open when we get the water recycling going. And that's where we stand, citizens. We're in the decaying orbit above Oya 2, watching scrappers go back and forth. Kind of met that while scrapping the internals of our 600 to do repairs because we can't go outside due to the increasing velocity and the risk of being pulled from the hull. But we're going to get this broadcasting and see about going back to brushing through the atmospheric recyclers so we can pull the helmet off and breathe some fresh air. That will do it from us here at Fastforecast for tonight, and from all of us here, we wish you and yours fair winds and following seas.
Oh yeah, 'cause I'm a weatherman. Oh, my, the sky, right out.